Hi everyone, my name is Melissa. What else you should know about me? Uh, I'm 29 from Paterson, New Jersey. A lot of you that know me know how much I love makeup, and I've been reviewing makeup. Well, I had reviewed makeup for quite some time over the years, and I've done it in college. I have never done a video tutorial. A lot of my peers have recommended it. They're like, you should do one. I don't know why you don't. You post so many selfies of makeup online. So here we are on this Easter Sunday. We're just gonna go for it. Shout out to my cousin Chris for encouraging me. He's in the other room right now, and he was just like, just do it, just record yourself. So that's what we're gonna do. So it's my first time. Don't judge. And thanks for watching. Let's have fun. Okay, so pretty much where I am with my skin, I've always had oily skin, but now as I've gotten older, it's a lot like combo skin. So pretty much this is where my face is dry. This is where it gets oily right now. It's severely dry. Like this weather, we got into spring weather and it's allergy season. So last week I got dryness and patchiness. Like half my face was red, and I've never experienced that. So I've already phased into a new skincare regimen, but as far as wearing makeup, it's kind of tricky because most of my products are for oily skin. It's very mattifying and stuff. So like I'm trying to manipulate some of the products that I use to make sure it's just working for my skin in its current condition. So today we're just gonna do something simple. It's Easter, something that I could wear around the house. We are gonna do a simple eye look. As far as the complexion, I'm not doing like a full-on foundation. I'm just gonna use tinted moisturizer and perhaps a little powder on top. So be more to come. All right, so now I'm gonna start off with my eyes. Now, as you can see, my eyebrows are very thick and feathered. With the quarantine going on, it's looking a little crazy. So I'll just pull up a little bit closer. I don't know how you zoom in, but okay. I think if you guys could see how my eyes are, this coming is getting there. So normally when I wear eyeshadow, I do like to have some type of eyebrow tint. I mean, I don't fill in my brows. I feel like that's very tedious for me because they're so full. But I like to have something, just because you can't have a full eye glam and then your brows are just natural. You know, you want to have a little something. So this is the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit. I got 3.5, which I think it's medium brown. This was actually a sample that you get with your Sephora points. This is not the actual full size. So I have 2 of these, and I just like to use it. I don't use this every day because I don't wear eyeshadow every day, but it's just good to have. You know, the pigment is nice. It's a very ultra fine tip. You can look at that. I think I'm supposed to do this. Yeah. So, you know, a little goes a long way. Because my eyebrows are pretty unruly, very just messy, I'm not gonna go too crazy with them. We just want to have a little time. This is a little, it's not really a spoolie, but I guess it's like an eyebrow comb and eyelash comb. I got this as a gift from Amazon, or at least that's what the person that bought me the gift got it from. Sorry. Like my mirror's in the way, and then I'm doing that. I'm gonna use 2 mirrors. So one will be a handheld, the other one will be another kind of mirror. And just with this, see, the thing about eyebrows that people fail to realize is that eyebrows are sisters, they're not twins. So people always try to, when filling in their brows, they want it to be symmetrical, and you really should not aim for that. You should just aim for just filling in the sparseness, or, you know. And then when you do pick out a color, you want to go a shade that's a little bit lighter than your hair so it can blend. I find that a lot of times most women pick out their true color or a darker color, and it should not be like that at all. You want something that's going to blend with your skin. You want natural, realistic looking kind of makeup. All right, so I'm kind of done. I'm not gonna go too crazy with it, so I will use eyebrow gel, but at the very end. See, one thing about my makeup routine, there's a method to my madness. I like to work backwards. I like to skip steps, but then come back to it. You know, that's just how I am. For my eye look, now most people like to do their eyeshadow after they put on their complexion makeup. I don't like doing that because I feel like I'm gonna mess up, and at least by doing my eyes first, I can clean whatever's on the bottom. And this is especially if I'm doing a dramatic eyeshadow look. If I'm doing something natural, I mean, I don't necessarily have to do the eyes first, but it's just a preference. It's something I'm used to, so that's what we're gonna do. I am gonna use the Louise base. This is in number 2. This is more like, I would say, like a pink beige color. It's definitely lighter than my eye space, and especially my face. Apparently my face is darker than the rest of my body. I have medium to neutral to warm undertones. So with that, it's like right throughout the year I normally just have neutral undertones, but during the summer I tan a lot and I get very peachy, orangey, and warm, which is nice. But it's just something to keep in mind. I try to make sure that my makeup products, I do have them sorted as summer and then year-round makeup products, but I always make sure that for complexion products, the undertones are warm so that they can just adapt to my skin, especially, you know, like right now the weather, it's not like fully warm yet, but it's getting there. So apparently I'm putting in the base all over my eye, but I added some more here than this eye. So, and of course I'm looking at the camera, not the mirror. You could tell this is an amateur first tutorial. So I'm just adding more base on here. So there we go. I'm not really doing a full-on, not gonna do too much of an eyeshadow look. It's just something pretty. Okay. So now for my eyeshadow palette, we're gonna use the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour Palette. This is my first eyeshadow palette. I've had it, kind of embarrassed to say, because I know like you're not supposed to keep makeup for an extended amount of time. I think the maximum expiration would be 2 years, but this one is, yeah, this one's 12 months. So I've actually had this probably for like, oh yeah, for like 5 years, so don't judge me. But it's still good. I mean, I haven't hit the pan yet. I mean, I've used it a lot. What I like about the palette, it's a great matte eyeshadow palette. Definitely the colors are blendable. They're not patchy. It's a vegan, from what I understand, it's a vegan and cruelty-free palette, which is pretty awesome. So for my brushes, okay, here's the backstory. These are all I have at the moment. Most of my other brushes I washed yesterday. They're still not completely dry. Some I had to rewash today. So we're just gonna work with what we have. I do have mostly eyeshadow brushes, but not complexion, which is gonna probably be a little struggle, but it's okay. So we're just gonna use this one. This is from Amazon. It's like a gift. And then I'm going to use, I'll do this one. This one is, it's called Samel. Samel. And I'm gonna use my side mirror here. I'm putting this all over the lid. A lot of times when people apply eyeshadow, oh wait, let me take out the powder. It's a little, some fallout, not gonna lie. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, a lot of people when they apply eyeshadow, they do the transition shade first, where it's like they want to build their crease. Now, what I have, I don't know if I have a mono, I can't tell if I have a mono lid or like a hooded lid, but I would say it's in between those two terms. I don't have a crease, so I have to create one, and that's why I struggle with eye looks, is because I want to kind of make sure when I do my eyeshadow looks, I'm opening up my eyes more, not like drawing them in closer, not closing them in. You know, I want to show it off, and I do have a lot of lid space, like, so that's why I like to kind of work from the bottom up. Some people think, oh no, do your crease first, and then, you know, everyone has their own preference. You know, that I definitely think, and this is just my opinion, not trying to be throw shade, but I think there's a huge discrepancy between influencer makeup, which is makeup you see on YouTube that influencers do, than pro MUA makeup. And that's makeup that when you go to Sephora, MAC, or Ulta and you get a makeup service done, that's the kind of guidelines and work ethic and technique that they use. And I kind of respect that more, just because I know people that work in those establishments and that is how they're trained, and I always respect that because that comes directly from the makeup artists and makeup gurus themselves. So all right, so I just put my lid color on. Let's see what I'm gonna do for a transition. Let me see if I have a, this is a blending brush from Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild has good brushes. As far as the bristles are, everything else, like I don't like that this is white, so sometimes it gets dirty and I have to wipe the base of the brush down sometimes. Other times I had to throw it out because that right there just doesn't last long. I'm gonna take the 2 shades. This is Latest, and we're gonna take Ludicrous, I think. Yeah, so I'm just gonna mix those 2 as my transition color. You can definitely do that. And I like to try to take my time with this. I try not to rush. And then when I'm blending, I try to just look straight across with my mirror. Other times when I'm doing eye stuff, then I look down so that doesn't irritate me. But for shadows and blending, you want to look straight because that's how the eyeshadows are going to appear. I'm just tapping the brush on my mirror. I think I grabbed more brown then. Getting a lot. I'm gonna start the next eye. Another funny backstory behind this, I don't have my contacts on, and I pretty much always wear corrective lenses, whether it's glasses or contacts. So I'm doing this pretty blind. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Reason why I haven't been wearing contacts is because of the COVID-19 outbreak. They don't recommend contact wearers wearing contacts. Some people still do it. I just don't, because when I wear contacts, I'm constantly putting drops. I'm constantly, you know, you have to touch your eyes, and I rather just not do that. So that's the reason why we're gonna do a muted eye look, is because, you know, I'm gonna be wearing glasses. Okay. So whenever you do your eyeshadow looks, the reason why it takes time is you want to always make sure you're checking and blending, but also just make sure that it looks ideal on how you want it. So I'm just gonna go closer. So as you can kind of see, like, you know, you see a little bit of that crease color. You see it's more smoother on this eye than the other. This eye kind of looks more out. So I'm just gonna try to tie it in. And then I'm gonna take another clean brush. This is also another Amazon brush. And I'm not putting shadow in it. I'm just trying to clean up and tighten up that crease a bit, just because it does pop out and it's noticeable. And it's a nice warm tone because that's what I like. Okay, so just gonna leave it like that. Let's see. Now we're gonna do the outer corner, and with this I'm gonna use an eyeliner. I'm gonna use a smaller brush for the outer corner because at least I could build it. This is an e.l.f. pointed eye pencil brush. This is perfect for like for the waterline, like underneath if you want to do a smoke effect, which we'll do a little something like that, not too much of that, but it's also small enough. And I'm gonna use it with, I'm actually gonna mix this up. I don't necessarily want to use a warm tone brown, but I'm gonna mix these 2 colors right here. This is Sutri and Latinus. I'm totally messing up these names. Yeah, I'm like, so I'll mix the 2 up. And we're just gonna see how I'm like holding it towards the end. I'm just kind of like tightening in that outer corner just to open up my eyes a bit. I'm not really going too crazy, and I'm using a light hand. And I'll go a little bit underneath. I don't necessarily plan on smoking out my under eye because I am wearing glasses. I don't want to. Sometimes when you wear glasses and you have a heavy eye look, it's going to magnify it more. So you just want to keep it nice and sultry. And then with this look, I'm not wearing any shimmer shadows, which is kind of hard to believe because that's like my ultimate favorite. I always love shimmers. But I'm just going to keep everything nice and matte and simple and clean. And I'm doing the same thing on the other eye. I'm always just checking my mirrors. I have like 3 and I'm like, this does look good. I feel like this eye is a little bit more intense than the other, but I can always go back and clean it up. I'm just looking all over, guys. I'm sorry. All right, I like how this eye is looking. This one's still a little, but we're gonna go back to that clean brush and just marry the 2 colors here. Sometimes, you know, makeup is not perfect. I think there's certain areas where you might have to finesse a little bit more, and then there's some it's like, all right, good. So I try not to just be perfect. I try to have fun with it and take my time. But also if I'm in a rush, then it's like, all right, get it together kind of thing. Okay, pretty good. So next thing, we're gonna just do eyeliner. Now, I'll do that. Sorry. I was gonna put my brow bone color first, which is just a lighter off-white color, but I'm gonna wait just because I want to do the eyeliner first and get the outer corners defined. So with this eyeliner, this is from Morphe. It's the color Richie. Their eyeliners are pretty good and they're affordable. I think they're like $3 to $4. So I'm just gonna sharpen it a bit. And this is a sharpener from Essie. I got this from Ulta. This was also like $2 to $3. So for my for this, I'm just tight lining. Now I'm not gonna lie, I hate tight lining because I have sensitive eyes. So with this eye, which is my left eye, and that's like my dominant side, I'm left-handed. It's easier to do my left eye than my right eye. My right eye, I'm always tearing. So I don't know why Siri always goes off my iPad.
I'm here.
See? All right, give me one sec, guys. Let me just turn her off. I find that so creepy. So creepy. Okay, I'm here. So this is what you're not supposed to do. I don't recommend this, but sometimes I just need the help. So I'm stretching out my eyelid a bit just to kind of get some help because tight lining sucks. But I don't recommend it because you could stretch out your eye and, you know. Now with my eye shape and the way that my lids are, you know, if I were to basically tight line all over and then put a thick cat eye or something like a cat eyeliner on top of it, it's gonna close my eyes and make them small, and I don't want that. I want to open up my eyes, especially when I'm wearing glasses, but also contacts too. I just want that kind of look. So with the placement, since we're doing a natural eye, I'm matching what the outer corner eyeshadow is, where I have that dark definedness right there. So I'm kind of just putting the eyeliner there with the tight line. But I'm not, as far as the bottom lash waterline, I'm not like putting it in too deep. And little bolder than expected. Could probably fix that. I'll leave it for now, but if I don't like it, then I'll fix it with a Q-tip. Now we're gonna do the same on this eye. Now my right eye is what I struggle with because it's the more sensitive eye and it's the eye that I don't have good coordination with. So I'm just gonna do the same trick with my other mirror, and that's stretch it out and get it in. Doesn't sound right, sorry. Okay. And now I'm just doing a little bit. See, difference with this and this is that this is more into my waterline, and now I'm just gonna bring it out. And also, I don't have a lot of lighting in this room. I'm using natural light from outside. So that can make all the difference. but that's what I want though, because that's what I'll be using. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the eyeliner. As far as the bottom lash, I'm not gonna worry about it too much because I am gonna put concealer on. So if anything, if I want to clean it up some more, I will. Mascara and stuff will wait towards the end, but that's the eye look. So now we're gonna move on to our complexion. So first thing I'm gonna do is put on primer. I struggle with primer because my skin is transitioning. It's very much combo right now, but I'm pretty sure once it goes into warmer, hot weather, it's gonna be oily, and then it's like, all right, I gotta go back to the drawing board. So most of the primers I like to use, believe it or not, I just honestly like, I would say more luxury, like anything I could find Sephora and Ulta, I would invest in a primer just because it just works better with my skin. It's really hard for me to find good drugstore skincare and makeup products because it just doesn't, it hasn't been working for my skin. So I can honestly vouch and say that I invest in all of my makeup and skincare products. That being said, this is actually a sample from the Smashbox, the original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. I'm sorry guys, I keep holding this up. So this primer, it's a very, let me just bring it up. It's a very good primer. I used to use this when like years ago. I hated it because it was silicone-y, but now I'm using it again because it does work well. It is a very effective product. But I think where I messed up years ago when I was using it is that I put too much. I definitely didn't put it where my T-zone was or where I got oily. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So the parts I'm putting it in is where, you know, I get oily. Now, granted, some of the parts that I also put in is where I get dry. So I'm just mostly putting the primer where I not only get oily, but where I break out. Other parts of the face, I do want it plumped and moisturized, which I did that right before the application. So yeah. For my complexion, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not using a matte foundation just because I want a very natural, radiant, and a simple makeup look. So we're going to use the Laura Mercier. This is the Tinted Moisturizer, but oil-free. There's other versions. This is actually an amazing tinted moisturizer. I mean, I don't know where the hell I've been. I bought it last year. I think it was November. But yeah. Okay, so bought this in November. Amazing product. It is a splurge. It's $46. And yeah, at first I was like, oh my god, I'm spending so much money. But you know, the thing is, I struggle with, you know, complexion products and things like that just because of my skin. And I was looking for a tinted moisturizer that just didn't like, wasn't greasy, like that was pretty good, that works with, you know, oily skin. I hate to say it, there's not that many great ones out there, especially in the drugstore. You could barely find one. So I'm just sorry. With this product, I don't use makeup brushes or sponges. I like to just use my fingers, and less is definitely more. You don't want to put too much. You don't need a lot. That's why I like it a lot. Whenever I do complexion work, most of the product I like in this part of my face, I want the most coverage here. This, not so much, I don't care for, but definitely because this is the driest and this is where I break out and this is where I have hyperpigmentation and dark spots, I just want the most coverage on my face. Fortunately, my skin is pretty good. There's no breakouts. There's probably some faded dark spots that I want to cover, but that's about it. Now we're going to move on to concealer. I'm going to color correct because I do have some dark circles, some stuff going on. And then we're going to put another concealer on top of it. This is a color correcting concealer from Bare Minerals. It's called the Correcting Concealer Broad Spectrum SPF 20. So this is good because it has SPF. And I got in the shade medium number 2. And for this, I'm just going to use a simple, this is a Wet n Wild brush. And I'm only taking a little bit. And I'm actually going to use my handheld for the eyes. Thing about concealer is that it's always good to put it on top of your foundation as opposed to underneath and your foundation on top. And this is because, you know, you don't want to put too much. You only want to put exactly what it is that you need. And I find that a lot of people, which I don't know, like I hate, I don't hate, but I just like when people put concealer like all here to try to highlight that part of their face. I just feel like it's too much. I've done it before, like I tried it, I was like, oh yeah, this works, and I hated how I look. I felt like it was too bright. I looked too yellow, which it was like beyond neutral. It was like, okay, this is way, it just doesn't work, you know. So that's why I do a little bit. I think less is more. With color correcting, I don't always color correct, but I do whenever, you know, I have dull looking skin and I just want a little help. And as you can see, I'm just applying a little bit. It's gonna definitely blend out. I'll probably do some here because I had a blemish last week and some there, maybe some here. I do get darkness around my mouth. So sometimes I'll put a little bit here. My mustache, it's definitely hairy, but we'll still put it there, and maybe the nose. But as you guys can see, I still did that with that little swipe. And this is a very thick, creamy one, and I definitely hit the pan. But the keyword is that less is more. So now my next concealer that I'm using, this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Matte Concealer. This is a really good one. I got the shade 210. Not sure exactly what the description is on that shade. I know it's more like a neutral undertone. I think my true shade in Fenty though is a little bit higher, but I got this just because at the time my skin was not as warm in the undertones. And then I'm literally doing the same thing. I'm not putting too much, just a little bit. Now the thing about this concealer is that it dries down very fast. You have to like work quickly when it comes to the blending. And this brush I'm using is from Equal Tools. This is actually a gift. It's an angled concealer brush. This is an amazing brush. Like, it blends so beautifully. And those of you are probably wondering, oh no, what's going on with the bottom eyeliner and stuff? Don't worry about it. We'll definitely touch it up, you know, at the very end when I put mascara on. I actually kind of want that clean bottom lash line look, so all right. And now I'm not necessarily dragging the concealer all the way down. I'm just kind of blending it around so that doesn't look too patchy. See, there's a difference. Some people just draw the concealer and then blend. I basically just put a little bit, and then if I blend it downward, then it looks fine. You know, it doesn't look too crazy or cakey. So I did the eyes. I'm going to do a little, I don't have to do too much on the face because the color corrector kind of took care of it, but I'll just do a tiny bit. I'm not going to do none in the mouth area because I don't have blemishes going on. And I just dropped my brush. But it's okay because that was the eyeshadow brush. I'll pick it up. Okay, I didn't need to tell you guys that. Sorry. Thing about concealer is that most people feel that it's supposed to cover completely a blemish, like just basically make it disappear, and that's a big misconception. Concealer is only supposed to just cover the redness. You're still going to see that texture of the blemish. I learned that the hard way, but once, and it was actually Sephora MUA that taught me that, and I think once she mentioned that, it was like, okay, now I get it. You definitely manage my expectations well. And that's why I love going to Sephora or any makeup store, is that when they give you gems, when they give you tips, it kind of makes your shopping experience a whole lot better. So yeah. Now we're going to move on to powder. I'm not going to do too much powder just because I don't want to dry out my skin. But for powder, we're going to use the Bare Minerals Original Foundation Medium Beige. This is actually my mom's foundation. I don't use this type of foundation often, but I do it whenever I want more coverage on my tinted moisturizer. And then this is a kabuki brush, that's Bare Minerals. So I'm buffing the powder into my skin, but I'm not doing too much, just quick, you know, nothing crazy. My mom, she has medium skin with cool to neutral undertones, so her undertones are a lot lighter than mine. So, you know, like for the most part, her skin is neutral, but at times when she tans, she gets very pink and rosy. So that's how we know that she has cool undertones. For me, I get more like peachy, orange. Sometimes I tan and burn easily. So, okay, very quick, very simple. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to bronzer. With my complexion, it's pretty quick. I don't do too much. So for bronzer, I don't have my bronzer brush, so we're gonna have to use this fan brush. And the bronzer I'm using is a Jennifer Lopez. This is, I forgot what it's called. I think it's Boogie Down Bronze. This, I don't even know the shade, so I'm so sorry, guys. What sucks about the Jennifer Lopez Inglot collection is that it's discontinued, and I'm super sad because I was loving that. I wanted to buy another bronzer, but, you know, hopefully I could find it elsewhere, but if not, you know, this is definitely a good one. Fortunately, I have not hit the pan on this, so it's pretty good. What I'm doing right now is I'm pretty much slightly bronzing the outer parts of my face, just because that's where I do get a lot of darkness there, especially when I tan. And I'm putting it very close to my hairline so it kind of blends easily. This is a good brush for contouring. Thing about contouring, I don't really do it. I don't care for it. It's not my thing. I have a short, round face. So most people, like, they do the points and like they do the lines and stuff for contouring. I don't really care for that. And even if I do, it's mostly powder and it's a brush. It's not like a full-on kit. It's not like right now, this would be kind of considered a little, I guess for some people it might be considered a simple, I don't know, ghetto version of contouring, but because I don't have my other bronzer brushes, which, yeah, I'm trying to see if I have another one, but I don't think, oh wow, sorry guys. So this is actually a pointed powder brush. So this is a tapered one. I thought I didn't have one in there, so we'll continue to use with this. I'm just gonna kind of put that in. I definitely love bronzer. I love embracing my warm undertones with it. I like to add warmth to my face. I use bronzer way more than blush, believe it or not, because I feel like blush is just extra. I don't care for it, but bronzer, I have to have bronzer. Okay, so now we're done. I feel like I got hair caught here. All right. For blush, I only use one kind of blush. It's really hard for me to, I don't know why I keep saying it's really hard. It's just, I'm very picky, I should say, with blush. With medium skin tones, they always recommend just a pink rosy kind. You don't want to get peach because if those are already your undertones, it's going to wash you out. But you also don't want nothing too red because it just doesn't look great. So really my favorite one is this Tarte one. It's the Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush. And this is in the shade Party. And I like this one a lot. I've had it for a while. This is also a sample from my Sephora play box. And it's pretty. It works for me. Sorry, I just have to do that. But it works for me, and I actually do love Tarte makeup a lot. I use the Amazonian Clay matte foundation, and the whole line is pretty dope. The only thing I hate about it is that the skin tone range for picking out your shade is very jumpy and off. It's not consistent at all. That's something we can talk about on a later video, depending on how this one does, because I literally I'm like I'm curious to see how the edits are gonna be. So okay, Blush is done. The way I just did it, it's simple. I don't like, I have a better blush brush that I use, but that one's still drying from washing it. This one's kind of a flat powder brush from Sephora, so I kind of just, but that's why I kind of went with a light hand and I applied a little bit and I just put it across there. What else? Like, should I put highlight? Should I not? We'll just put highlight. Before I put highlight on, I'm gonna just set my face. For setting this, I don't necessarily pick one that's for matte or dewy skin. I like to use just this as a facial mist. Mario Badescu facial sprays. There's like so many different scents and stuff. I love it because it's affordable, it works, and yeah, I'm obsessed with it. So there you go. For highlight, I'm gonna just, I'll put it. I mean, I wasn't trying to because I had a matte thing going on, but this is the Becca, I think it's Champagne Pop. Shimmering Skin Perfector pressed, yeah. It's the Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop. It's a really pretty color, and I love how the bristle's gonna just go in there. And it's a very, this is also from my Sephora Play Box. And let me just take a mirror so you guys can see how I apply it. Wow. I don't ever apply it like that. It's usually a lot more messier. Okay. So for those who don't know, with highlighter, you want to apply it at the highest points of your cheeks. And that's why I kind of suck my cheekbones in. Yeah, so. And then I put it here. I was going to do a brow color of like a matte powder, but instead I'll just put the highlight because I kind of just want to. I know I said I was going to put shimmer, but I was like, screw it. Let's put some shimmer. Let's make it look cute. And then I'll just put some here. Most people, they put it like on their forehead and stuff. With that, I don't add extra. I kind of just use whatever's on the brush. And this is like my lip. And the chin. Okay. Not bad. All right. Holler. So now we're going to do the finishing touches. So one of the finishing touches that I do is a little setting finishing powder. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD finishing powder. So this powder, this is the sucky part. I don't have, oh, I can use this. This is a Smashbox brush. This is kind of an old school brush. But going back to the finishing powder, so the thing about that powder is that it's not like a setting powder. It's really a finishing one. So like when I do use it, even though this is not the ideal brush to do it from, I'm literally just lightly tapping it all over my skin where I want a little bit of smoothness. The under eye area, I'm not going too deep into it because of the concealer that I use. It's already mattifying, so it kind of self-sets. But with this, I kind of just want to add a little smoothing effect. I'm just trying to be scrappy here. All right. So we did that. Now when I do my finishing touches, I pretty much just start from the top to bottom. So the top being the eyes, we're going to just put on some brow gel. This is the Anastasia. I don't have the, wow, this thing doesn't even have the imprint on it, but it's Anastasia brow gel. Yeah. All the products that I use, I will link it down below so you guys can, you know, guys can see and stuff. Now with brow gel, I'm very simple with it. I don't go in and dip and dip and dip so much. It's just a quick combing. And of course my brows are so hairy, so now you're gonna see it. What else? So now we're gonna do the eye pencil, which I'm trying to, oh, it's actually on the floor. It wasn't even an eyeshadow brush. Great. Sorry about that. So yeah, now with the eyeliner, we're gonna sharpen it again and we're just gonna clean it up. and just make it more bold a little bit. I'm gonna take a Q-tip. I'll start off with this eye because this is the more challenging eye. Now I'm gonna just use a clean side. I'm not gonna go too crazy. All right, much better. And then I'll actually do the same for the other side. Pretty good. And now I'm just gonna, I'll use this. Ah, got like a little thing on my hair. Okay, and then I'll do the top a little bit. Ah, see, I just hate highlighting. Okay, that's it, because now my highlighter. Now I'm just looking at the sides. This one's definitely bolder again, so maybe I'll just bring it out a bit. So that's the thing about like eyeshadow work and eyeliner work, is that I'm always just checking to see if it's how I want it. Why don't we actually do smoke it out? Sometimes with my makeup routine, I would change my mind. So for the smoke out effect, I'm gonna go back to Laticus. And we're just gonna, only because I kind of want to tone down the eyeliner. And the way I'm blending out my shadow, if you guys could see, is I'm putting more pressure on the outer corner, but then the inner corner I'm just swiping. So I'm packing it in the outer corner and then swiping a little bit. And this is like the perfect brush for that. Okay, so yeah, much better, because now you don't see it as much. And it's a little smoky. So a little smoky is not too bad. Should I do an inner corner highlight? We'll do inner corner highlight. This is the problem. This is why it takes so long doing makeup. Is because it's like I want to add more. And for the inner corner highlight, we're going to do the Smashbox brush. I'm literally just tapping it like that. Just not too much. Just taking a lot. And then boom, there you go. It's probably a little subtle. I mean, you could, maybe I could wet the brush. I'll just wet it a little. I wet it a little bit, so. Okay. I think one eye's more bright than the other. Okay, now we're gonna move on to mascara. I use the Great Lash Maybelline one. These are one of the ones I use. For mascara, I only use drugstore kind. I don't really splurge on luxury mascara. Just because it's one of those products that I don't like a lot, but I like volumized lengthy lashes, but I don't like the feel of it, because you know I wear contacts, I have sensitive eyes, so that's why I don't splurge on it. And if I do get mascara, it has to be waterproof, because yeah, it just goes back to my sensitive eye thing. Not only that, I hate when my mascara runs or something. I'm just gonna put a little bit, because I don't want, like, I'm only gonna be in the house, so. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm not gonna put any in the bottom lash line. Yeah. Now we're gonna put our glasses on. This is a moment of truth. I'm gonna see how I look. This whole tutorial, I don't have any corrective lenses, so. Ooh, okay. Ooh, she ready. She cute. I am gonna We're just taking that kabuki brush for a little more blending. Okay. Damn, that highlight is... Alright, so now... I know I'm supposed to do my lips, but I kind of wanted to fix my hair because it looks a little crazy. I'm going to use the Amika Undone Volume and Matte Texture Spray. This is really good if you have hair like mine, which is fine, thin, and oily. I don't like dry shampoo because my scalp is just super, everything is sensitive with my body, I swear. But yeah, that's how my scalp is, and I literally wash my hair every other day. So with dry shampoo, it just doesn't do anything for me. But this one actually, it's actually really good, especially if my hair is just wavy and messy and undone like it is today. So I'm just kind of, I'm using a little bit. I don't spray it all over. And then I just kind of do that. I haven't combed my hair because I used the flat iron yesterday for the beach wave, so that's why I'm not combing it. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, cute. For the lips, we're gonna just do we're just gonna do a lip liner and lip gloss. Lately I've been wearing a lot of lip gloss. Lipstick is pretty. I love matte lipstick and satin, but I feel like lip gloss is just easier. And then what I did before to prep my lips is I used the Laneige lip sleeping mask. I think this is the original flavor or scent or whatever. A lot of my friends ask, should I buy it? You know, is it worth it? Honestly, if you have $20 to spare or to spend, just get it. It's that good. I wear it all the time. It's not a lip sleeping mask for me. It's an everyday mask. So yeah. For my lip pencil, this is actually the best and one of my favorites, and I plan on buying it once I run out. I got this also as a Sephora sample. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the, I think it's Whenever Walnut. So that's 606. It's like the prettiest universal pink beige, and it actually matches my lip color. So I'm not gonna overdraw my lips and just, or at least I'm gonna try not to. I'm just gonna fix that bottom. Okay, pretty good. Usually I go in sometimes, especially if it's a darker lip color, like lip pencil, but I'm gonna keep it simple. And for lip gloss, I'm gonna use the Wet Cherry Gloss from Lime Crime. This is in Bitter Cherry. You could see that. These lip glosses are amazing. They have a nice scent. It's not overwhelming, and they're super creamy. I got another shade. I don't normally wear that shade because it's super bold. But this is just everything. Yeah. All right, and that's the final look. What do you guys think? This was fun. Yeah. Sorry if I kept you guys long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am gonna link down the products below so you can check them out. But send me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts? What do you want to see? I hope I get to do this more often, just because I felt like I've waited way too long, and now I just want to showcase my passion for makeup. And by all means, I'm not a professional at all. This is just fun for me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this, and I hope you guys have a great week.